Hi everybody, I'm Amy, and today's short video is going to be about the anatomy of a Cranach Princess dress, both of which these dresses are. These gowns were worn roughly between 1510 and 1540 in a place called Saxony, which is part of the Holy Roman Empire. And this is the dress of a high status woman or elite. The rulers wore them, the daughters of the rulers wore them. And there's no existing Cranach gown that I know of. What everybody uses as their base for this sort of outfit is the gown of Mary of Habsburg. Maria of Habsburg, sorry, which was made about 1520. So I'm going to go over the items in these outfits that make them Cranach Princess outfits or Saxon gowns. So let's start with the skirt. This is made out of wool, and this is cloth of gold. That's the decorations on the bands. The cloth of gold is a very big indicator that this is worn by somebody who has a lot of money. Now this isn't real cloth of gold. This is from a vendor called Sartor from Czechoslovakia. It's not in stock right now, but that's where I got this. So you have your skirts and you have your big bands of gold at the bottom of your skirts. This is jacquard fabric. I made this dress about 6 or 7 years ago, and I didn't have access to cloth of gold at the time, so I have gold colored jacquard. This is actually a pretty famous dress on the internet. If you type in Cranach Princess, this dress will come up. So, how do you do the skirt? The skirt is not in shaped panels. The skirt is just rectangles of fabric sewn together and then gathered into a waist. Now, I did not want to use rolled pleats, and rolled pleats is what you usually see on these dresses. So the secret, rolled pleats takes a lot of fabric, and this dress is heavy enough as it is. That's why I didn't want to use rolled pleats. This dress is attached to the bodice all the way around, and you have a panel in the front. It's open that's about 4 or 5 inches right there, and then you hook it closed. To make this, you have an extension that you sew. So the skirt can be attached to the extension as you cross this space where nothing is. These hooks and eyes, well, the eyes are what is holding the lacing across. You can do that with eyelets too if you like. So that's the skirt part of the gown. And there's not a lot of portraits that you see full length, and if it is full length, it's usually very tiny as a part of a bigger painting. Most of the Cranach Princess portraits that you see are from about here up. So the next thing we'll talk about is the bodice. In a Cranach Princess dress, the bodice is always, well, usually open like this, and then you have a bust band across your bust. This is pinned into place. On this, one half is sewn into place and the other half is pinned. So you've got your gold bands of decoration all over. And yes, the bust covering can be the same kind of gold as what your bands are made out of. This is a high-necked gown. My gown is a low-necked gown. High-necked are easier to wear because the low-necked ones want to fall off your shoulders, and these are literally falling off my shoulders. Then you have your very fancy sleeves, are a hallmark of this type of gown. And these sleeves are faked. This is not real puffs coming out from a shirt or dress underneath. This is a faked sleeve, as are these. These are faked. This is all, it's on a base of a sleeve, and then you apply the fancy stuff to it. And this is all faked. This is the cuff, that's the bell cuff. It's part of the sleeve. This is all faked though. The ties are fake. These do not have any structural meaning whatsoever. They're just for show. So then you have your undershift that you're wearing that's wide open, and if this was a real attempt at a historically accurate gown, you wouldn't see this white at all. This would be totally covered up by the sides of the gown. So that in essence is what a Cranach dress is. The jewelry that you usually see with a Cranach outfit is at least one long gold chain, one very fancy choker, and then you have something called a gold top, which I'm wearing on my head. This is a gold top. This is a fancy one. It's got pearls on it. It's got ribbon decorating it, and it's about twice as large as it should be. The pearls are twice as large as they should be, and the gaps in this crisscross are twice as large. It should be much smaller. This would be good for the stage when you want people to see the details from far away. So this is what I'm wearing on my head underneath this very fancy hat that I have. Fancy hats are another indicator of a Cranach Princess outfit. So this one has got pearls on it, and I'm going to try to unpin it from my gold top, and there we go. As you see, I've just got my feathers stuck right through the opening. This is a two-piece hat, and by two pieces I mean two brims. If you look at the portraits, Cranach Princess portraits, you will often see a line across the brim, and that indicates that it's two pieces. You see them in small hats and you see them in large hats. So that's what I did here. And these are just pearls that are tacked on to the brim after the hat was made. So this is what a Cranach Princess dress is. I have 2 dress diaries on my website, which I will put in the bottom of this video, and you can go and see those dress diaries if you want to look at really how the construction was done. And your sleeves, there's never one way to do your sleeves, so keep that in mind when you're looking at my sample, and the sample is of this sleeve, which looks a lot harder than the sleeve that I have on, but this is actually much easier. So good luck with your projects, and hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good weekend.